The Indian flight, the passengers that had detention in France. We are now bringing you more details on the inside story of what exactly took place in this entire story. Remember, 280 passengers were on a plane grounded in France that landed in Mumbai. Most of the passengers, remember, were from Punjab and Haryana. After the plane landed, they were interrogated by security officials right here in India, after which they were allowed to go home. Now, we do have some inside details as to exactly what took place. Agencies are reportedly suggesting that a larger conspiracy is at play. Remember, as we told you earlier, most of these people were from Punjab and Gujarat, but reportedly the allegation is that there was never a plan to come back. They were leaving on the excuse of tourism. But what exactly does that mean? How were they doing this? To understand more around that, we'll have a reporter join us in just a second. Remember, this was an Airbus that took off from the UAE. It was headed to Nicaragua on December 22nd. This had 303 Indian passengers on board, including minors. It had a technical stopover in an airport in eastern France. It was grounded there after the local French administration received an anonymous tip-off about human trafficking. Now, after the flight was grounded, French authorities launched a judicial investigation. What they wanted to look at was what were the conditions and the purposes of all of the passengers for traveling. Basically, according to the French government, the passengers were allegedly traveling to Nicaragua from where they would have entered the US and Canada illegally. So that was actually the plan. Now, 4 judges on a panel in France actually questioned all of the passengers. Several passengers actually requested asylum in France. 11 passengers were unaccompanied minors. They were put under special administrative care. So not all the passengers who were stopped in that flight actually returned home. Now, according to French law, you can actually hold passengers up in transit zones for police investigations for up to 4 days. Now, on December 24th, the seizure order on the aircraft was lifted. The Airbus was allowed to fly back on the 25th, and then it reached Mumbai on the early 26th morning. So, yesterday, early in the morning. With their faces covered, some passengers trying to hide their faces behind their mobile phones. They were not open to speaking about what happened. 280 odd passengers finally emerging from the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport nearly 5 hours after landing in the city. Let's go over to our colleague Abhishek Jha to understand more about this entire story. Abhishek, I do want to ask you, more details required here. What exactly is our investigative reporter Manoj Gupta finding? Can you tell us more? Who were the agencies that were responsible for getting these citizens of Punjab, of Gujarat outside the country? How did they get outside the country in the first place? Were immigration authorities lax? What happened there exactly?
It looks like these all of them, they already had a visa for work in Dubai, and from Dubai they arranged this chartered flight that was on way to Nicaragua, from where they were expecting to enter USA, maybe as a tourist. But we have seen the pattern that these thugs, who in the name of tourist group, they take many people from, especially from Punjab and Gujarat, to USA and other countries, and after arriving there, these people who had gone there as a tourist, they try to seek asylum on the basis of religious persecution, on the basis of political persecution, or something that can be, approved or can be granted as per the law of the land. In this case, there were many people who were Sikhs, and some of them were Muslims also, and they were probably seeking asylum in the name of persecution, that they were target of religious persecution by the government, by the political social setup in India, and probably many of them could have gotten some visa, some times to stay back and seek asylum. That is the whole modus operandi of this entire operation that has come to fore now, that these people were already in UAE and they wanted to sneak into USA and USA without valid documents, and this is the kind of pattern that they opted for. But fortunately or unfortunately, they were caught in the middle and they had all come back to India.
Okay, Abhishek, thank you for bringing us those details. We're going to move